This guy might have jumped into the number one spot for me in terms of league winner. This guy right here, Jalen Hurts, has been dropping ADP rankings over the last couple of weeks, and coming out of the NFL draft, for whatever reason, neighbors, Adunze, just quarterbacks in general, moving around, people getting into the thick of fantasy football and saying, I'm going to wait on a quarterback. Hearing garbage content creators say, this is not somebody that you draft early. You don't draft quarterbacks early, Smitty. You just don't do it. That's what people tell me year in and year out. But how did that work for you last year? I can't tell you how many years people come around and say to me at the end of the season, Smitty, you're right about early quarterback. I'll never listen to anybody ever again because you're the only one that told me early quarterback is not something you should be ashamed of. Early quarterback, mid-range quarterback even is what we're talking about. We're not talking about first or second round. We're talking about third, fourth, and fifth round quarterbacks, taking quite arguably the number one quarterback in fantasy football, and Jalen Hurts in what? Now the fourth round? The Fantasy Football Show begins right now.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios. It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are looking at, in my opinion, the best pick in fantasy football 2024. It was Patrick Mahomes. It still very much is an arguable thing. That has not changed. Mahomes is going around 5.1. We had one said it was Kyren Williams. No, I'm not scared to say Kyren's still one of the top 1, 2, or 3 overall picks in fantasy football in terms of cost of entry and value proposition. The cost of entry and the reward you could potentially get in Kyren Williams inside round number 2, now mid-round 2, possibly late round 2 because of all the Blake, Corum, Caleb's that are scared to death. It's arguably just as good. The Jahmyr Gibbs dropping to the 12-13 turn is one of the very best picks in fantasy football. I've just mapped out how to win your league. Gibbs at 12-13, Kyren in the mid-second to late second, Mahomes in round 5 at 5.1. And now I give you a Saturn man. We moved him to the Saturn board because the Saturn board is all about how can I destroy my league with big guns. Mars men, they're a little bit more, can you say, cloudy or a little bit more risky, higher risk but huge reward. Moon men, higher risk, still huge reward. Moon men can win you leagues. Mars men can win you leagues. Saturn men can destroy your opponent, and the cost of entry on Jalen Hurts dropping to the top of round 4. We're talking about 4.1, ladies and gentlemen. He has officially crossed the 36 overall player drafted on average on Underdog Fantasy. Promo code Smitty. Use code Smitty to claim your special pick. You get a special pick when you use code Smitty. And then on top of that, first time deposit offer up to $250 bonus cash by clicking the link I just dropped in the live chat. And we'll be doing a draft when we're done with this. Okay, so get ready, get all signed up and ready, get your app opened, and you just sit there and wait until I give you the go-ahead. Jalen Hurts has dropped into the 36.9. That's essentially 4.1. And that, ladies and gentlemen, makes him a Saturn man. Not a moon man, not a Mars man, a Saturn man. Welcome.
The Saturn men.
One small step for man, one giant leap.
Saturn. Look at him. Look at him. This is the most marvelous board I've seen. Hurts 4.1.
Spaceman.
Mahomes 5.1. Yeah, MHJ's climbing to the 12-13 turn. I've seen him go at 11. I've seen him go at 11 in a couple drafts, but he still can win leagues. He's that good. Gibbs falling to the 12-13 turn. Achane falling to the bottom of round 2, maybe top of round 3 soon. Bijan falling to 6-7 still can smash your league to pieces. JD5 is everything I've said he is, and I've said it since January. Kyren, not scared a single bit, and I love the petrified Peters everywhere are letting this guy fall to the mid to even late second round, probably early third round approaching. And Breece Hall is going 8, 9, 7, and he could be the number 1 overall running back. The Saturn board has never looked more fruitful. The Saturn board has never been more, in my opinion, massive. And everyone on that board can win you a league. And what we're here to talk about is that early quarterback is not something anybody should be running from. And I've said this over and over and over. And when you talk about drafting this man as your 4th drafted player, not in round 1, not in round 2, not in round 3, but anywhere from 4.1 to kind of 4.4 is where he can fall on Underdog Fantasy Drafts. Promo code Smitty. Link has been dropped in the live chat. Link is in the description. This is a win a league formula. Imagine getting a Gibbs and Kyren and then Devontae Smith and Hurts. You go light at wide receiver and you end up having that special combination. Or we go with a Gibbs and Marvin Harrison Jr. Let's put that on the screen here. So Gibbs goes at your 12-13 turn, which is one of the biggest values in fantasy. It's absolutely ridiculous that Gibbs is falling there. We'll go MHJ right here. MHJ going at the 12-13 turn. Let's say you get lucky enough to get this combination and it's doable. And then right here in this 4th round, you get Devontae Smith. You get DK Metcalf. You know what? You don't want to stack, whatever. We'll just go DK Metcalf. DK Metcalf. And then right here with this pick, you get at the 4th round draft selection, you get Jalen Hurts. This is a fantastic way to start your fantasy football draft. You could also sometimes get a guy like Jacobs, or let's say you like Henry. You want to go running back, and then get a 1 wide receiver in MHJ. Let's say you want to draft let's say Laporta, Jalen Hurts. This is a fantastic way to smash your league mates. Bottom line is this: there are very few players that come along that have the win a league potential from round 4. Mahomes is doing it from 5.1 and sometimes beyond. Jalen Hurts is now doing it from 4.1 and sometimes beyond. And very rarely can you ever say this will be or could be the highest scoring fantasy football player in all of fantasy football. How often do you get to say that from rounds 4 and 5? Mahomes at 5.1, Jalen Hurts at 4.1. The answer is you don't get to say that very often. But the reason you get to say that is because people are sleeping at the wheel. A bunch of scared Scotties and petrified Peters and concerned Calebs are watching content creators that continue to peddle out that early quarterback is a disadvantage, that drafting a QB because the QB pool is so deep, which it is, but it doesn't mean they're drafting a guy that can win you a league like Hurts from round number 4. At some point, you got to say to yourself, okay, a deal is a deal. I'm getting a deal enough at 4.1, getting quite arguably the number 1 overall scorer in fantasy football. Yes, you can get a Stafford in round 12, or a Aaron Rodgers and a Joe Burrow, who I love too. Joe Burrow is one of the better picks in fantasy when you break down. He's a 6th and 7th round player and can score like a top 3, 4, 5 quarterback. But at some point, you can't continue to say, let me continue to bargain shop when you're being handed arguably the number 1 overall fantasy football scorer in fantasy football as your 4th drafted player. There's no other way to spin this. You can say what you want. You can tell me how much you like this guy or that guy. And we even love AR5 in the later round or 2. We even love Jordan Love. These are all players we absolutely love. And if we miss out on a Jalen Hurts, we miss out on a Patrick Mahomes, of course we're going AR5. Of course we're going Joe Burrow around 6, 7. Of course we're looking at Jordan Love later. These are all amazing options, and you want to diversify anyway. But if we're going to nail it down to one thing and say, this wins you leagues above all else, it's Mahomes at 5.1, it's Jalen Hurts at 4.1 to 4.2. These are 2 of the very best values in fantasy. I don't care what anybody says. I will not even hear it. I don't need to hear it. You can speak your mind. Everybody can have a differing opinion, but there is no arguing this. There's not. There's only people telling you, wait on a quarterback. You can get a wide receiver. If you wait on a quarterback, you can get a wide receiver so much later, and it works out so freaking well, Smitty. Let me show you something. It's all about apples to apples. If you take Jalen Hurts and you land him here, and you tell me, hey, Smitty, let's go bargain shopping, and let me go into the Underdog Fantasy ADP data right now and find myself a wide receiver going in rounds 6 and 7. And I'm going to put that player on screen and compare the apples to apples. So we're talking about a player, let's just say somebody, wide receiver, that's ranking somewhere along the lines of, let's say 65, 70. So we go into a territory of Terry McLaurin. We go find a Calvin Ridley. We find a Brian Thomas Jr. We find a JSN. We find a Hopkins. We find a Keon Coleman even later and later. A Jameson Williams even later and later. If we're gonna try and compare these apples to apples into a even later quarterback snag. But if we're talking about somebody that's around this even 50 overall is Pickens. As you get deeper and you get to a McLaurin at about 60 overall, a Hollywood Brown, a Calvin Ridley, a Brian Thomas Jr. You give me a scary Terry McLaurin, who's now catching footballs from JD5. You give me this receiver around this territory, and you say, oh, Smitty, you can go get a QB like whomever. Insert your favorite quarterback in this territory. And then over here in this 4th round territory, around 36, 37, 38, you're drafting a wide receiver like, let's call it Zay Flowers, T. Higgins, Keenan Allen, Amari Cooper, Christian Kirk, and even somebody that I like a lot, you could say DK. But Michael Pittman Jr. is going way above all of those guys. So let's use a worst case scenario based on rankings. Let's say Michael Pittman Jr. Michael Pittman Jr. versus my Jalen Hurts, and then I get McLaurin versus the quarterback you take. That's the only way to break this down. I get so tired of people saying you can just wait on a quarterback. No shit. We understand that. We're not morons. We understand you can wait on a quarterback. We understand the concept of the quarterback pool is so deep. Well, guess what? So's the wide receiver pool. Guess what? You can go get a Keon Coleman, and if he is the guy and you comparatively pit him against that in the 2-for-2, you could beat the person's 2 players with your 2 players. It's that simple, and I get so tired of seeing people create this garbage stuff on waiting on a quarterback. Only a novice will draft a QB like Jalen Hurts in round 4 at the top of 4. Only a novice will take Josh Allen at 3.4 or 3.5. Only a novice will take a guy like Patrick Mahomes, who struggled last year, at 5.1 or 4.10. I'll tell you right now, you will sleep like a baby having Jalen Hurts in your quarterback spot and not worrying a single bit. Ask somebody that had quarterback carousel problems all last year doing a rotation. Ask them how they feel about rotating quarterbacks, not having a secure monster quarterback scoring massive amounts of points. Ask them how they feel. I tell you, every year, dozens and dozens and dozens of people flood my inbox once the season ends, and I hear a thank you for making me go early quarterback. I didn't have a worry in the world. Thank you, Smitty, for preaching early quarterback and shutting all this nonsense down. I get so many of those DMs at the end of the year from people that finally listen to me and say, you know what? Getting Josh Allen at 3.4, getting Jalen Hurts at 4.1, getting Patrick Mahomes at even 4.5. If you got to reach a little early and you're not going to get him at 5.5, whatever, 5.6, you take Patrick Mahomes at 4.5 with a smile. It's really that simple. It's not a difficult concept. And people that think it's difficult, well, then invite them into your leagues. People that think you're making a mistake by going Jalen Hurts at 4.1, they don't know what in the hell they're talking about. Invite them in your league. It looks like we got some gifted memberships. Let me see here. Gifted memberships. This one's from Tebow. Tebow time dropping 5 gifted wads on screen. Tebow to freaking Saturn on that one. Tebow, the man, the myth, the legend. What a monster coming in strong tonight with that. And then we got a super chat here from Elvis. Elvis, you're my boy, Blue. Elvis says, Lamar or Hurts, does Henry change LJ's value? I don't know if you, I mean, no offense, Elvis, you dropped this from the beginning, but I mean, I think by the tone here, I think I answered the question. Maybe you dropped this at the very beginning, but I think by the tone, you kind of get a sense that Hurts wins the league. You know what I mean? So the answer to this question, is Hurts by a mother freaking mile, bro. We're talking about a guy that is ranked number 2 in fantasy football QB ADP data, and I'm telling you, he wins the league as the second drafted quarterback, because this data doesn't mean he's going in round 2 or round 3. This data is telling you he's going in round number 4. And I'll take Jalen Hurts over Lamar, over Stroud, over even Mahomes at 5.1. I'd rather have Jalen Hurts at 4.1 if you're weighing out the cost of entry versus what you could probably get back. AR5 I love, Joe Burrow I love, even Kyler 81's fantastic. Draft Kyler and Jordan Love. Jordan Love at 86.5 is fantastic. These ADP data are very tempting, right? You see Love at 86, you say, man, I can go QB or go running back or wide receiver shopping and get a different player. But there is a difference between what Jalen Hurts is going to do and what Jordan Love's going to do. There's about 100-point difference probably between Jalen Hurts and what I believe he's going to do this year and what Jordan Love's going to do. There's going to be at least a 75 to 80-point difference between what this guy's going to do over Joe Burrow, over maybe even Anthony Richardson. There's probably going to be a 50 to 75-point difference between Jalen Hurts and CJ Stroud. And maybe there's a smaller difference, maybe, if Lamar stays healthy, between Lamar and Hurts, but I don't care. The ADPs are not that far apart. This is a matter of destroying your league mates. And what can you do apples to apples in comparison when someone says, I'll just take Jordan Love, because they hear somebody say it over and over and it sounds great. It sounds very logical on the surface level. I'll just take Jordan Love late and get my 270 to 300 even points, when I'm telling you everything Philly's doing right now, Barkley, that's not going to eat into Hurts. It's going to help Hurts. The change in rules for the NFL in terms of kickoffs and this man being even closer to the end zone. No, I'm not worried about Kelsey being gone. The brotherly shove is still going to have this man scoring 6 to 10 touchdowns on the ground. This man right here is like a running back and a quarterback combined. This man right here is like a running back 15 or running back 12 overall. And then also you get gifted this quarterback production. This man right here is miles ahead of everyone. And this year, he's going to ball out. This year, he's going to have the best year of his career. The Eagles are going to win the NFC. And I believe that this man's going to potentially have his first championship. And it's going to be a tough go, I believe, whoever's in the AFC, probably Patrick Mahomes. But this is the Eagles' year. It's all coming together. They've been playing 10D chess against everybody. They took 2 of the best cornerbacks, if not the very 2 best cornerbacks in this 2024 NFL draft. They brought in Barkley. They signed both their top wide receivers, making them happy. They brought in Kellen Moore, who did what he did in Dallas. Everything you see in Dallas partly is due to Kellen Moore before he left. And yes, he went to LAC and struggled there, but maybe Harbaugh is going to prove that is a place to struggle. Okay, but Kellen Moore coming over to Philly is going to clean up everything, piece it all together, make it an absolute well-oiled machine. Jalen Hurts is scoring 400-plus points on Underdog Fantasy scoring, and these guys, no matter how good of deals they look like, don't hold a candle to 4.1 value. Even if you promise me you're giving me Jordan Love at 95 overall, I'd rather have Hurts at 4.1 than Jordan Love at 85 overall. Apples to apples, I'm going to smash to pieces somebody by taking Hurts at 4.1 and a sleeper wide receiver I love, a sleeper running back I love, whatever the case may be, versus somebody's wide receiver or running back here and the quarterback that they love, even a quarterback that I think is going to be fantastic. I'll still smash him to pieces, apples for apples. Dial into the show. Do it live.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Brought to you by The Attic, theattic.shop. Do it live, do it live, do it live. It really is simple. I have to make this video every single year. I've been doing this over 25 years now professionally, and every single year I have to create this video or this piece of content, and I have to continue to do it. I don't mind doing it either. I don't mind doing it, but it is a struggle. It's like pulling teeth to get people to understand this concept, and year after year after year, I continue to have to make this content year after year after year. Somebody will push back on it, and that's fine. A lot of people will push back on it, and that's fine. And that's what makes us so valuable, right? Because people aren't catching on. They never will catch on. They'll continue to receive the information from other people that drafting a quarterback early is not needed because of how deep the QB pool is. This QB pool is deeper than it's ever been. You would think out of all years that I would hesitate and say, well, maybe this year it is okay to wait. It would be this year when Jordan Love can barely be a top 10 quarterback. Dak Prescott, who finished in the top 4 in most scoring formats, can't even breach the top 7 or 8. You got Anthony Richardson's a top 5 quarterback that can't even breach the top 5. It makes sense that on the surface level, if you're looking at a one-dimensional piece of content from a one-dimensional content creator, on the surface level, mute you guys unless I'm talking to you. Please hit mute. On the surface level, it sounds like a brilliant piece of content. It sounds like a very brilliant explanation that this is so deep. Why don't you wait? But you have to. If you can mute real quick, whoever I added, Bay Area, mute yourself. Red, mute yourself. Sebastian, mute yourself. T-Bone, mute yourself, please. At surface level, it seems brilliant. Just wait. Look how deep this is. But what people aren't doing are showing you the wide receivers or the running backs. I could get Trey Benson and Jalen Hurts. Trey Benson's ADP is at, let's see, Trey Benson's ADP is going around, Trey Benson, 90 overall. This is the most perfect example I could give right here. I'd rather have my boy Trey Benson. Let's put Benson here in this territory on this side of the fence. Let's put Benson right around, just anywhere in this like 7th area. We'll just put him there, 7th or 8th, right around between 7 and 8. Okay, we'll put Jalen Hurts here in round 4. We'll put let me see. Let me go to somebody. Stay muted after you give me the answer. But Sebastian, give me no. Let's go to the Redwood. Redwood, give me one wide receiver in the 4th round that you like a lot. No, I'm sorry, running back. Give me a 4th round running back. If you need me to give you some names, I can.
I need some names.
James
I haven't done any mocks.
James Cook, Rashad White, Pacheco, Derrick Henry.
Maybe Henry or Pacheco out of those 4.
Okay.
I'd say probably. I think Henry. I think Henry has some upside.
And I think Henry's a good pick. Henry and Jalen Hurts versus. I'm sorry, Henry and name a quarterback you want in the 80s. Those quarterbacks include Dak Prescott, Jordan Love, Caleb Williams, Brock Purdy.
Jordan Love.
Okay, and just so everybody knows, I love Jordan Love. You know that. Jordan Love was one of this channel's biggest breakouts. He helped people win leagues. You have Jordan Love and Henry versus Jalen Hurts and Benson. Now, some people might say they don't like Benson. That's fine. We could find another running back that's in that territory. Stevenson's going 80. Zamir White's going 80. You don't like Benson? Let's replace Benson. I love Benson. Jalen Hurts and Benson crushes Jordan Love and Henry, in my opinion. But you don't like that? Let's go Zamir. I know a lot of people here like Zamir. Jalen Hurts and Zamir versus Henry and Jordan Love. When anybody tells you wait on a quarterback because it's a deep quarterback pool, you should be asking, well, what about the wide receivers, Bob? Are there values there too? Because you're telling a one-sided story. This right here, I believe, is proving that at the very minimum, it's even to somebody that's skeptical still. This is a very even proposition. The only difference is I believe in what we do here. And I believe everybody on the phone line does. I believe everybody watching here does. We will find the monsters in the 7th and 8th round. What you won't find as easy is the number 1 overall score. and you're looking at a guy that could be the number 1 overall scorer in fantasy football. And while that might not mean something to a lot of people because they're going to say, well, quarterbacks score more, we're going to crush anybody drafting even Henry or Pacheco with Jordan Love or Caleb or Brock or whoever you're getting in the 7 or 8 round territory. You could even throw Burrow in there. Zamir White or Trey Benson, or some might say Ramondre. Najee's going at 86 overall. I'm not saying I love Najee with the current news today. I'm just giving people examples. You could cuff Najee and Warren together pretty easily. James Conner is going right at 85 overall, below where Jordan Love is going. So you could get James Conner and Trey Benson cuffed. Would that... Let me ask you a question. Let me go around the phone line. Let me start off with Bay Area just left. Let me start off with Sebastian. Sebastian, would you rather have Connor and Benson with Jalen Hurts? Because you can get Connor and Benson cuffed after 85 overall. Would you rather have Jalen Hurts, Connor and Benson, or Derrick Henry and Jordan Love?
For sure, the Hurts side, I was actually just going to call in about it. I think I had my best draft right now with Jalen Hurts out of the 12th spot. I really do think I went hero RB. I got Jahmyr Gibbs, Garrett Wilson, Devontae Smith, Jalen Hurts, and then later in the draft, I was able to get like Doubs and Watson, I believe, and I stacked them with Jordan Love for that like wide receiver 3 slot, and I was able to stack Jalen Hurts, D. Smith, and Jordan Love with those 2 wide receivers. So I think I killed that draft with both the quarterbacks.
I think you did too. I think you did an amazing job. Let me go over to the Redwood. The Redwood, would you rather have Jalen Hurts and both Arizona running backs, because you can cuff both of them outside of 85 overall? Would you rather have Jalen Hurts or you could even say Zamir White. Zamir White and Jalen Hurts, or Henry and Love, or Pacheco and Love?
Well, my thing is that, I mean, I'm not that big on Hurts. I haven't been paying attention to your show much lately, so I don't know, what your take is on him, or why you think he's going to do so well this year. But I think he's a good quarterback, but I think there's a good possibility he's not even top 5.
Why would you think that? What on earth would make you think that, bro?
I mean, I can name 5 other quarterbacks that I think might do better.
But why could you name those Why could you name 5 other quarterbacks? Like, what is making you say that? Because, I mean, do you know how good he did last year? Like, are you just assuming because the Eagles struggled, he wasn't an absolute monster? I mean, do you realize that he was literally right there as a top 3 QB, and that, he had a struggle bus type season and he was still a top 3 QB? Like, his everything got better. His defense got better. He brought in a running back. Now the defense is going to be more honest. He was QB.
You don't think that Saquon's going to hurt his goal line production at all?
No, I think that anytime this team is at the goal line, they're doing the brotherly shove. Removing Kelsey was. Look, does Kelsey make it more likely that they're going to punch it in? Yeah. Could Kelsey? It's more about Hurts, though. Hurts is the guy that can out-squat almost every single offensive lineman in the National Football League. The brotherly shove is not successful just because of Kelsey. It just makes it more likely they're going to punch it in from 4 yards out using the brotherly shove than they would anyway. But, like, look at this real quickly. I just want you to take a gander at Jalen Hurts' his game log from last year. He was QB 19 in week 1. There's no way to dance around the fact that the Eagles, they were struggling last year big time. They didn't have an identity. They lost their offensive and defensive coordinator. They didn't replace them properly. And you have a situation where they're kind of running around like a chicken with the head cut off all year long. But even coming off a very struggle bus week 1, he was QB 4. Listen to this. This is all consecutive, my guy. This is all consecutive, okay? I'm going to read it straight down the screen. If you can see it, you can read it with me. Jalen Hurts, let me paste something on here so I can, for those watching, can follow along. He was QB 19 in week 1. He was QB 4 in week 2, QB 9, QB 6, QB 3, QB 2, QB 5, QB 5, QB 3, bye week, QB 11, QB 2, QB 6, QB 24, QB 5, QB 5, QB 10. And in week 18, you can't even look at that data. He was literally outside of the top 11 twice. And he was outside the top 10 3 times. And he was inside the top 10 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 straight weeks from week 2 all the way to the bye week and week 10. Like there's just no, I mean, I don't know how you could say this guy's going to be outside the top 5 because they bettered the offense. And if you don't like Jalen Hurts, like, you could put Mahomes there. Or, I mean, if you don't like Mahomes, then I don't think you like early quarterback, and that's just the way you are, and that's fine. We differing opinions, but if you don't like Hurts at 4.1 and you don't like Mahomes at 4.5 or whatever, you don't like early quarterback, and that's okay. But you refuse to even go there. That's what it's about. There's no way you can dislike what this guy just threw down last year as QB3 and suggest he's not even going to be in the top 5.
So, but what if Josh? I mean, what if? So you'd rather take Hurts over Mahomes?
Bro, as I said, for like how long we've been live? 31 minutes. Mahomes is one of the best picks in fantasy football. But Mahomes at 5.1 isn't as good as Hurts at 4.1. So Hurts at 4.1, what?
Well, my thing is that, I mean, he pretty much had no receivers last year. I feel like Mahomes at 5.1 might be a way better value.
Well, bro, we're splitting hairs. They're 2 of my top 3 best picks in fantasy football 2024. Like I'm not going to argue with you that Mahomes is one of the best picks ever. I've already done that video. He's a Saturn man. Look at my Saturn man list, for goodness sakes. Redwood?
The Saturn men.
Hurts is on there. Mahomes is on there.
Giant lead.
I got 9 guys on the Saturn men list out of all the players in the NFL. So I'm okay with you liking Mahomes. I'm okay with that. But you asked me, would I rather have Hurts at 4.1 or Mahomes at 5.1? Both of them win you a league. But give me Hurts at 4.1 because he had the successful monster year last year, didn't have a bad year, and everything just got better for him. Mahomes probably is going to see a lot better 2024, much better 2024 than 2023, obviously, or I wouldn't be predicting him to be one of the best picks in fantasy football. But Hurts, time and time again, has so many haters against him that don't, no offense, I'm not saying this to you, I'm saying it in general, and I feel like maybe you're seeing it places. It's easy to regurgitate it. It's easy to regurgitate.
So maybe I'm a little bit biased.
Yeah, you are a little biased, I could tell. It's easy to regurgitate this, but for people to say, oh yeah, I don't like Hurts this year, I think he's going to do worse, when all he does is explode. QB4, QB9, QB6. Look at this green. It's all green. His entire positional rank for QBs across the board is all green lit except for 3. You can't, week 18 doesn't even count. You can't, except for 3 weeks. 3 weeks, this guy was a top 10 quarterback the entire way. It's absolutely crazy. This guy had such a great year. And if we go back to last year, okay, if you want to talk about consistency, and this guy gets so much hate from people acting like he's not a good NFL quarterback, he's only good at fantasy. This guy was QB4 the year prior. He scores over 400 points in a traditional like 6-point per TD league. He scores around 375 plus in a 4-point per TD league. He's an absolute consistent monster, and his offense just got better. And you're now giving him better field position. Everybody's getting better field position, but the Eagles are bringing the thunder on defense this year. They drafted arguably the 2 best corners in this entire draft. So field position is going to be gifted to this man over and over and over and over again. And people that want to pretend they know what's going to happen with the brotherly shove because Kelsey retired, like as if it's just going to go away, as if it isn't the biggest component of it, isn't the man that squats 600 pounds. This man can out squat almost every single lineman in the National Football League. The brotherly shove is 80 to 90% successful because of this man. And I'm sure they're going to be able to train their center to do a fraction of what Kelsey was doing. It's not like they just lose a person on the line now. It's more like, okay, this is how you do it. Like, obviously, Kelsey was amazing. He moved the pile, but they're going to get it done. They're going to get it done. Not to mention, even if you took away some of the longer brotherly shove moves, this is still, the QB sneak has been around for quite a while. They didn't invent the QB sneak. He's still sneaking in 6-8 touchdowns without the brotherly shove. So, you know, Barkley, they're definitely going to want to lean on Barkley for some of the longer stuff, like 4 or 5 yards out. They don't need the brotherly shove from 11 yards away from the end zone. but Barkley's going to help this offense move the chains. He'll be in whenever somebody says, "Oh, they bring in a good player." The thing someone should be asking is this team going to be around the goal line more? Are they going to live in the red zone more? That's the thing you want to ask, and they will be. The Eagles are going to turn things around. Kellen Moore also, look what he did in Dallas. Look how good Dallas is. The makings of this offense came from the roots of Kellen Moore and what he did with it when he was in Dallas. And you give him more weapons in Philly than he had in Dallas. This Eagle team is so much more talented than the Dallas team. You have two elite wide receivers. You don't even know which one's the number one. They just got paid. They're super happy. You got Dallas Goedert, completely overlooked. He's a great addition as well for Kellen Moore. And then you give him arguably a top 5 running back and good field position, 2 best corners in the draft. This Eagle team is going to the top, and this man's on a mission. This man's on a mission. He's getting doubted. They're the underdogs again. People are talking trash about Jalen Hurts. He has to listen to people like Redwood coming in here saying he's not even a top 5 fantasy quarterback. He's on a mission. He's going to pull a St. Brown. He's going to have Redwood tattooed on his shoulder. He's going to put all the doubters' names all over his body.
I just think you got quarterbacks like Mahomes that are probably going to have a resurgence here. Then you've got, Josh Allen. He always is top 3 or something. And then I think Joe Burrow is going to have a big comeback this year. And I'm really high on C.J. Stroud. I think he's going to have a big year too.
In fantasy, bro, it's really hard to crack that top 3 consistently without running. As much as you want to say Stroud's going to do this and Burrow's going to do that, at the end of the day, who are the top quarterbacks? Josh Allen, Hurts. Can they pull a Dak and throw so many touchdowns and have such a potent offense that they get into the 3, 4, 5 range? Yeah, I think Stroud or somebody will. But bro, you are against Jalen Hurts biasly. You are bleeding bias from this. You don't even have an argument, and you continue. I basically shut down your argument, and you still are just trying to find a reason to doubt Jalen Hurts by going to other quarterbacks. This guy's in the top 3 or 4 every year. Like, what are we doing here? What are we talking about here? His offense will never be better. His defense has never been better. This is going to be the best year the Eagles have ever had. All right. Hey, hold on to Redwood. Let me go over to Insider Ricky. Insider Ricky, what's up? I appreciate you, Redwood.
I'll dive into the question, but I agree. I feel like Hurts, he's just getting better. Not to mention the center they got, he was handpicked by Kelsey. So I trust that Kelsey knows what he was doing. They've had this guy for 2 years, I believe. So the brotherly shove is here to stay.
Yeah, I agree. All right, hold on.
So, yeah,
go ahead. You got something else? What?
Yeah, I was. I called a while ago because we were thinking about who are the sleepers, the rookie sleepers of this year's rookie class. And Ricky Parcells, I don't think he qualifies as a sleeper at this point because he's going like in the middle of the second round. I was wondering, who do you think are your sleepers? Who's the Tank Dell? Because I think Tank Dell, I believe he was going for the end of the 3rd and the 4th last year. This time around, who are the sleepers? You say,
how about Javon Baker? How about Javon Baker, who today said to somebody, who I don't know, I forget who he said this to when he was getting talked to about it, but he says, no way in effing America 10 receivers are better than me. Out of your effing mind. This guy thinks he's a top 10 wide receiver in the National Football League. Javon Baker, he's the 2nd wide receiver drafted by the New England Patriots, but he believes he's not only the 1st wide receiver, the one that's going to be the best out out of the group. He feels like he's already a top 10 wide receiver in the National Football League. And he's not just a guy running his mouth. We've talked about him on the show several times, especially when we went over the draft grades and started talking about the teams, that he quietly could be the best receiver the New England Patriots drafted. So if there is a Tank Dell, that could be the guy. But I do think Ricky Pearsall is still a sleeper. You could have a sleeper in the middle of the second round. But yeah, I mean, maybe it's not a deep sleeper. But I think this guy qualifies. I think you've got, a handful of other players, but this guy right now on top of mind is probably, if I had to throw it out there, the best guy to toss out there. I like him a lot, bro. He looks so fantastic walking into the season. As far as other positions or other players, other wide receivers, I'd probably say, looking through it all, Malachi Corley is still going to be overlooked. I like him a lot. Roman Wilson in Pittsburgh. This is no particular order. Franklin in Denver playing with his quarterback, Bo Nix, it's going to help. As we get deeper and deeper, I'm trying to find, bigger names. Javon Baker's probably the guy that feels the most bang for the buck. Ben Sinnott at tight end, even though you're asking about a Tank Dell, he's the Tank Dell of the tight end class, potentially. Ray Davis in Buffalo is a good running back. So is Frank Gore, who they picked up after the draft. Malik Washington in Miami's interesting, but, we'll see. I mean, Garendo in San Francisco is the backup running back. Potentially has some value. Brandon Rice in LAC is interesting, but I just don't trust them at all. Will Shipley in Philly is fantastic, backing up Saquon Barkley. Tyrone Tracy in New York is fantastic, backing up Singletary. Eventually maybe going to take over that job. I'm going down and down and down. That's about as deep as I'm willing to go to suggest that we're going to find a Tank Dell. And at any position, like boom, boom, bang for your buck. This guy came out of nowhere, was a monster. That's what I mean by Tank Dell, and I wanted to cover all the positions for you.
Gotcha. Okay. So this, if you had to put your name on someone, to be Baker then, like the guy you feel most confident.
For right now, I'll come out with the Tank Dell video. Who's the next Tank Dell? But for right now, I mean, we're excited about him. I put him on this makeshift, just tweet here. Javon Baker's on the Moon Man list temporarily, probably permanently.
The Moon Man dropping loads now.
All right, hold on. Let me go over to Tebow from Cali. Tebow, what is going on, my man? I saw you say Luke McCaffrey in the live chat as your potential Tank Dell. I don't mind him. I think everybody's wanting him to be better than he is. I like Luke McCaffrey. The reason I like him is because Adam Peters very connected to the San Francisco 49ers and the Christian McCaffrey, Ed McCaffrey, crew. And so for him to really, really want to bring him in and bring in that pedigree, it excites me a little bit about him. I think he's got a great shot to become something special. I do. I think you could probably throw him into the mix. I don't mind that. I guess I would say that I don't really get the vibe coming out of college. Like, if you didn't tell me he was Christian McCaffrey's brother, if you didn't tell me that there was a desire to bring him in because of the family ties, and which will give maybe Adam Peters and this team a little bit more incentive to give him a chance and to let him rise up and not give up on him. All those things make him a potential Tank Dell, potentially. But if he didn't have those ties, he probably wouldn't have made the cut off of the eyeball test and off of the production test. But he's definitely, he's definitely intriguing. I just don't think I'd give him Tank Dell upside. But good spot. I mean, good spot to be in.
And let me clarify that. Maybe, I wasn't trying to say he's a Tank Dell. I think the guy came out that after, but he can be. So Luke McCaffrey is already being talked about as having that starting slot receiver position there. Yeah. The thing I like about McCaffrey, he comes, CMC's brother, yada, yada, that's all good. But he was a converted quarterback, and they've moved him to wide receiver, and they say this kid can catch the hell out of balls. And just when you look at film, he kind of reminds you a little bit of that Julian Edelman-style player, that guy that you can always kind of count on, third down. He's just going to catch a lot of balls. I just think Jaden Daniels and him are going to have a connection.
Yeah, it's definitely somebody to be thrown in the mix, for sure. I think he definitely is somebody that could be in that wheelhouse. Let me put it this way. He'll be up there in the top 10 for my who's the next Tank Dell. I think he'll be in that top 10. I don't know if he'll be 1 or 2, but he'll be in that mix for sure. But right now, Javon Baker, if I had to throw a name out there, feels like the best bet. Tebow, real quickly, one other thing before I jump over to Sebastian. I'm going to try and keep you guys as brief as possible, but I'll keep circling around. So go real quickly, and then I'll go to Sebastian.
No. Just really quickly. Then I was surprised that you didn't mention your boy as one of the QBs in the '80s, Mr. Kyler Murray. I think he's actually almost maybe a little bit more comparable. Like if you're looking at, okay, who's going to give you that better?
I like Kyler.
Best
Kyler.
ball lineup build. Yeah,
I love Kyler as my second quarterback in a best ball because then you can really bully quarterback in best ball and have the best quarterback room. But yeah, if we were to go back to this, and I still doesn't change anything for me, if we turn Jordan Love into Kyler and we keep Zamir White or we make that Trey Benson, to me, Trey Benson and Connor together easily cuffable in that 85 to 90 range. You could back-to-back Connor and Benson pretty easily and take one of them really early to make sure you don't get screwed on that. But you could easily cuff Connor and Benson or draft Zamir White or draft Stevenson. So you got Kyler Murray or Love with Derrick Henry or Kyler Murray or Love with Pacheco or whatever. It does none of them. None of them beat Jalen Hurts and the Zamir White, Jalen Hurts and the Connor and Benson, Jalen Hurts and the Ramondre, whoever you choose to be your RB. None of those beat the Jalen Hurts side. To me, I get everybody's going to have different opinions, but anybody that doesn't see, no offense, Redwood, I know you're still on the line and I appreciate you, bro. The Redwood's just bias against Jalen Hurts. I mean, he admitted he probably had some bias involved when he said it. So it's good to hear different opinions. I think it makes for a good debate, and it makes for for people to hear somebody push back against it when it's natural, not to be in here and be a disruptive David. But like he's truly not a Jalen Hurts fan. I don't know why. All of the evidence is right in front of his face. Jalen Hurts doesn't fail. Jalen Hurts, even in a bad season, he had a top 3 QB season when they were in shambles. So Hurts to me is him and Josh Allen are just so consistent. And Josh Allen's still a great pick. I'll take Josh Allen early. I'll take quarterback early 8 times out of 10, 7 times out of 10. Very rarely will you ever find a fantasy team drafted by me, even though I love Kyler and I want to have a bunch of Kyler shares. But even more so, I'll have Kyler as my second quarterback in best ball and bully quarterback that thing. Jordan Love is my second quarterback, bully quarterback. Joe Burrow is my second quarterback and bully quarterback in best ball. Nobody should do that in non-best ball. That's a dumb move in non-best ball. I mean, depending on how late Kyler falls. But in best ball, it's different because you don't have to make the decision on who to start. The system swaps them out for you. Whoever scores higher in best ball, that quarterback starts for you automatically. So it's a whole different ball game. But you will rarely ever find a team drafted by me that doesn't have Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts, Patrick Mahomes, and if I miss out on those guys, I'll have an AR5. And then if I miss out on that, just by the flow of everything, you'll either see me with the Burrow-Kyler combo or Jordan Love-Burrow-Kyler combo, 2 of those guys. But you will almost always, 80% of the time, you'll see me with Hurts, Josh Allen, or Patrick Mahomes. It's just the way I draft. I always will. Big proponent of early quarterback. I'm even a bigger proponent of early quarterback because it really isn't early quarterback anymore. It's now middle round quarterback. People that even try and suggest this early round quarterback, I just laugh. Because it really, the only reason I keep calling it that is because that's what everybody calls it. But it's middle round quarterback. Jalen Hurts in the 4th round is your 4th drafted player. It's not early. It's just, I have to create this video every year, and I convert so many people year after year after year, but it is such a struggle bus conversation every year, no matter how many years I do this. And I love that because it's good content, number one, and number 2, it's a victory for me to get people on board this thinking. And it's a struggle, and I have to drag people by their feet into this conversation, into this bucket of middle round quarterback conversation because they're used to hearing it over and over from everybody. Bob, the content creator, keeps creating content on how deep the quarterback pool is. Such an advantage to just wait. Why draft a quarterback early? You could just wait on one around 7 or 8. It's so full of them. Well, can that quarterback outscore all the other quarterbacks by 100 points, Bob? No. And if the Redwood doesn't think Hurts is going to outscore these other quarterbacks by 100 points, then he just doesn't like Jalen Hurts, and that's fine. That's a whole different argument. Sebastian, did I go to you yet? You're live.
Nah. I could only give 2 real arguments why you wouldn't draft Jalen Hurts when he's available. This is for best ball. It's like you want wide receiver, and you have someone like Jacobs where you can get away with a hero RB and then land one of those late round quarterbacks or even just stack a deep receiver pen. Maybe, but even then, just Jalen Hurts is so good. But that's like maybe one argument I can think of, and another would just be if you believe in Mahomes that much more the round after. I honestly prefer a lot of my Mahomes teams.
I love them
over
both.
My Hurts teams, but
yeah,
the Hurts teams, man, with the Smith stack and a wide receiver 1 in front of them, can't go wrong with it.
Yeah, I think I think the bottom line is they're both on my Saturn men list for a reason. And in hindsight, I don't think people are going to remember the story well. I think people will talk about my Saturn man list in a not people that know the show well, but like people that join the show maybe in August or October. They find out about the show, or they're passer buyers or whatever. I think people are going to misremember how doubted Jalen Hurts and Mahomes are right now. And if anybody thinks they aren't the best values in fantasy, Mahomes is a sleeper. Listen to the words coming out of my mouth right now. Doubting Donnie and petrified Peter and complaining Caleb. Hurts is a sleeper. Mahomes is a sleeper. It doesn't matter if you've heard of them. They are the best value in fantasy. And even if let's say the Redwood doesn't like Hurts for whatever reason, focus on Mahomes there. Picture Mahomes in here. Ignore my Hurts comments if you're so against Hurts. 5.1 for Mahomes. There's no bigger bang for the buck. What is the definition of a sleeper? It's being slept on. In the entire world, to the tune of ADP data telling us this is true. And if I pull up the ADP data, you can see Mahomes right here. Mahomes is going at 47.3. This fluctuates. It's been going between 47 and 53. There is no person being slept on more than Patrick Mahomes. So he is the definition of the biggest sleeper in fantasy football 2024. But guess what? Complaining Caleb and the guys that watch the other content creator garbage stuff are going to say, hear, and be told, you can't be a sleeper and be Patrick Mahomes. You can't be a sleeper and be Jalen Hurts, but you can. And that's why they've made the Saturn man list. And I think that history will be fuzzy and foggy and muddy to a lot of people when we get to the end of the season and people look at the Saturn man list and go, oh, bold list, Smitty. You got Hurts and Mahomes, number 1 and number 2 quarterback on your Saturn man list. What a stupid list. Yeah, this guy's really bold. People will not remember. They will not remember what is going on right now with the ADP data. It's all about ADP. Everything is about ADP. And the fact that you can get both Hurts and Mahomes at 4.1 and 5.1 is a absolute godsend in fantasy. And people are going to misremember it when it's all said and done because they're going to be back in their good graces and everyone's going to go, oh, what a great Saturn man list. Best values in fantasy, Mahomes, Hurts, biggest sleepers in all of fantasy football 2024. I don't care how you define it. That's how I define it. Let me go. Sebastian, anything else?
That's it for now. But if you wanted to make an argument against Hurts, I think those are the only 2 you can make.
Yeah, I mean, like, position of need could stray you a little bit in anything. So, like, yeah, I get that. Redwood, you're live, bro.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm here.
What's up, Redwood?
How's it going, Smitty? How you doing?
What can I do for you? What else you got?
Let me ask you this: Who do you think won the draft? Like, which team do you think won the draft this year?
Eagles and Cardinals, best drafts in the entire draft. I think there's some teams that did really good. I think Washington was fantastic. Chicago did good on paper. It's just a matter of Caleb. I mean, taking Odunze was smart. Yeah. Like that was a good selection. I think we look at the NFL draft and we say to ourselves, these teams that got quarterbacks is good, but I saw LaShawn McCoy, former Eagle running back. He was asked who lost the draft, and he said Minnesota. He said Minnesota taking McCarthy as high as they did, not getting a guy that he thinks, they think they're getting and he thinks they're getting are two different quarterbacks. It was an interesting take. I think people are saying that the Atlanta Falcons lost the draft and they get an F grade and a D grade. I think those are, even though they're not casuals because they have high positions in the NFL and commentating and they're big, huge talking heads, they sound like casuals. Can you give the Falcons an A? Probably not because it's unorthodox, but to give them an F or a D for drafting arguably the most NFL-ready quarterback, give them a D or an F in their offseason spending. Don't give them a D or an F in their grading. It's a totally different thing. The Carolina Panthers look like a garbage team walking into this draft. Am I going to judge their offseason or judge their draft with their offseason? No, I gave them an A- draft. Carolina Panthers crushed it in the draft. Absolutely crushed it. That doesn't even get influenced by their offseason. Obviously, the New England Patriots walked in as cellar dwellers, probably ready to disappoint everybody, and they had probably an A- draft because they absolutely drafted two quarterbacks, they drafted two wide receivers, they doubled up on those positions. No one's complaining about that. I get Penix Jr. was the 8 overall pick. No one's complaining that the Jets backed up their quarterback. I get it. It's an 8 overall pick, but the Falcons don't get an F or a D from me. I'll give him a B- at least because I think Penix Jr. is going to save this franchise. And if you want to say they wasted money on Cousins, then say it. But it has nothing to do with their draft. Their draft was fantastic.
Yeah, I don't mind them taking Penix. I just think they probably could have traded back maybe and still gotten him.
There was just like Gibbs. People said that about Gibbs when Detroit drafted Gibbs at number 12. People said you could have traded back. No. There was rumors everywhere that teams were trying to move up for Jahmyr Gibbs. That was the best pick by the Lions. And there were definitely reports that there were 2 or 3 teams trying to trade up to get Penix Jr. So you don't know that for sure. I know it seems like that, and that's the way the media has painted Penix Jr.'s value. But who's the guy that told you in like January that Penix Jr. was not only a first rounder, but he was like top 10 overall material, and everybody said to you and everybody listening right now, he's not a first rounder, he's not a top 15 pick, maybe he'll go in the second round. Hey, Penix Jr. could be a good pick by this team in the second round, and I'm just laughing my ass off every time I hear someone sound so stupid talking about Penix Jr. in the second round. Just stupidity.
Yeah. Do you think there's any validity to when they certain people will say they'd rather take the best quarterback out of a certain conference because it's the SEC would be more desirable to get your quarterback from than the Pac-12 or the whatever. Do you think there's any validity to that?
No, I think there's systems sometimes in different scenarios that make some of those stories true. Ohio State QB, whatever. It's case by case for me, bro. Every quarterback's different. Some quarterbacks have had other time and they transferred, so they kind of come with a different experience than what people are trying to paint them as. I don't factor that in at all. The only thing I'll factor in is, does this quarterback look like the kind of quarterback that's come out before that hasn't had the kind of skills that could translate? Then that's not me judging necessarily the system. It's judging, what they bring to the table. I'm judging McCarthy harshly because I haven't seen him do what he needs to do. Everything that everybody wants to say, ultra positive about McCarthy is that he won and he's a part of a winning team And that if he didn't get taken off the field early in games, if he was asked to do more, if he this, everything's it could have been. I'm not saying McCarthy will fail, but I am saying that McCarthy did not prove even a fraction of what Penix Jr. proved in terms of being translatable to the NFL. Doesn't mean that he won't translate. I'm just saying as a prospect, Penix Jr. was the second best quarterback in this entire draft. As a prospect.
Second best, better over Jaden Daniels?
No, Jaden Daniels is one.
Oh, really? So you're not that high on Caleb Williams?
Who am I talking to right now?
I haven't been watching the show that much lately, Smitty. I'm sorry.
Who is this?
The wood,
the redwood. Oh boy, bro, you are a little a little behind on my Caleb Williams content, aren't you?
I've watched shows here and there, but I haven't watched.
He's like, oh boy, you don't like JD5 then, huh? If Penix Jr. is your number 2 quarterback. Well, didn't I just show you the Moon Man, bro?
The Saturn Men.
The Saturn Men. Okay, the Saturn Men. JD5's on it.
Saturn.
Okay.
Yeah. It's okay, Redwood. I still like you're good people, Redwood. I'm not mad at you at all. I merely was going at you with the Hurts stuff because I want you to hear me. I think you're biasly bringing something to the table with the Jalen Hurts value. But
maybe like I said, I am a Washington fan, so but I watch Jalen Hurts play a lot too, and he has some good traits, but I also I don't know. I see a lot of bad traits.
All right, no problem.
The last thing I want to ask.
Yeah, go ahead.
Last question. Are you high on A.D. Mitchell?
I wouldn't say high on him. I'd say I'm very optimistic about his landing spot, maybe proving him to be successful. But he did come with some off the field baggage. The reason he fell is people are scared of Rashee Rice right now. So we don't know who attended his birthday party. I don't even think he had a birthday party. So
do you think that he could be the wide receiver 1 in Indianapolis?
He sure could. Yeah. He sure could. Pittman Jr. does not tickle my fancy like everybody else. I like him. I think Pittman Jr. is Deontay Johnson and T. Higgins in a way, like a combination of that. Like in terms of, I would say Pittman will never be better, in my opinion, than like Higgins. I think that's really, really good. I like Pittman. People think I hate Pittman because I don't love Pittman as a wide receiver 1 in fantasy, even the low end. He's not a low end wide receiver 1 to me. Just like when I said Jalen Waddle, people were out of their mind drafting Jalen Waddle at 12 and 13 and 14 overall last year. That's where Jalen Waddle was getting taken. 12, 13, 14 overall. It was absolutely ludicrous. And he was a second wide receiver on his team. Why are we taking the second wide receiver on a team? I don't care how good the offense is. At 12, 13, and 14 overall. So Pittman to me, definitely very, very strong, elite almost wide receiver 2 in for, maybe not elite wide receiver 2. I would say good wide receiver 2 in fantasy, but elite wide receiver 2 for his team. He's going to probably play 1A and 1B or 1B and 1B, really. With A.D. Mitchell, if A.D. Mitchell can keep his head on straight, A.D. Mitchell's got to keep his head on straight. A.D. Mitchell's got to stop giving up on plays and things like that. Then I think it could be a 1B and 1B. Do I think that A.D. Mitchell passes Pittman? No, maybe they're the same. And keep in mind, this is an offense that is going to survive a little differently. It's going to all be about AR5. AR5 is the meat and potatoes of the offense. Everybody else is playing a role. Everybody else is getting AR5 some coffee, essentially, at the end of the day.
And he's got Josh Downs over there, too, huh?
Yeah. All right, bro. Appreciate you, Redwood. All right, later,
thank
bro.
You, Smith.
All right, let me go over to Bay Area Thomas. What's up, Bay Area Thomas? Is that you with the wind, bro, in the Bay Area there?
Yeah, that's me. You remember,
yeah. Well, no, we just hear a lot of wind in the background. Somebody didn't mute. And I was like, it's probably Bay Area Thomas with the wind. What's up?
No, last time I called, I had all the wind in the background.
Oh, okay.
This time I'm inside.
What's going on?
Yeah, big question, Saints, about my 11th pick number 11 again. You said Olave would be too high to take at 14, but now that we know where Marvin Harrison Jr. is going, do I take him at 14 and then swing back later on and pick up Murray? Because I love that talent together.
You'll be lucky to get MHJ.
Have a great season.
You'll be lucky to get MHJ at 14. You'll be luck.
Wow.
Luck. 20%,
So you think
maybe
he'll
50.
be in the middle of the first round?
No, I think you'll get him at 12, 13. But 11. He's going 11 on underdog, bro.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
do I think you have to take him at 5?
I want to
No,
ask you
no.
about that too, though. No, don't take him at 5. Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, no.
So I would take him at 11 and then hopefully pray that Wilson falls at 14.
You know what I wonder? Would you rather have? I mean, I know you want to go wide receiver. I'd rather go balance. Part of me wonders if you could.
I had Eckler let me down big time last year, man. That I picked him at 6. Thought I had a steal and it crashed.
Bro, if Gibbs is there, don't hesitate on Gibbs.
Don't hesitate on Gibbs. Pick him over a lot. I mean, Wilson and Marvin Harrison.
Well, I'm not mad at you. Why wouldn't you? I'm just curious.
Yeah.
You know, we look at Gibbs. I'm asking for a friend. I really want to know, why would you take Garrett Wilson over Gibbs? Is my question. I'm really asking that. I'm not mad.
I think Aaron Rodgers is going to target him. I think Aaron Rodgers is going to target him like he did with Devontae Adams.
Agreed.
I think he's going to get all of the red zone targets. Everything is going to go his way.
Agreed. I don't hate your answer.
Yeah.
I don't hate your answer, but I will say
I think he's going to have a superstar year this year.
I mean, we went over this last night. Gibbs, once he started getting used in week 7, bro, running back 3, running back 1.
Yeah.
Bye week.
Mm-hmm.
Running back 2, running back 3. he was a top 3 running back in 4 straight weeks in week 7 through 11. He had a bye week in between. It's not his fault. He had, in 4 straight weeks, he was top 3. In 4 straight weeks, he was 1, 2, 3, 3. And then running back 24, 25, 15. Running back 24, 25, 15. Can't be perfect. And then running back 3 and running back 3. He had, bro, since he got used in week 7, he had 4 games out of that entire stretch where he wasn't a top 3 running back. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, I mean, you even keep week 18 out of it. 10 weeks, 4 times he wasn't a top 3 running back out of 10 weeks. So 6 times, I mean, the remainder is 6. 6 times he was a top 3 running back, all of which was week 7 on. Imagine if he had weeks 1 through 6 to play with. He would have probably had 10 weeks where he was top 3, top 4, top 5 running back. Only Christian McCaffrey tied him with top 3 running back finishes. He was second in the NFL in top 5 running back finishes, all of which were top 3. He didn't have a running back 4 game. He didn't have a running back 5 game. They were all top 3. But he was tied for 4th in top 10 running back finishes. This man was tied for 4th and didn't get used until week 7. So if he fell to number 11, the only player that's a better pick in fantasy is probably Jahmyr Gibbs over Jalen Hurts. Right now, my pecking order for best pick in fantasy, best cost of entry, best bang for your buck, best picks in fantasy 2024, period. Number 1 is Jahmyr Gibbs at the 12-13 turn. Number 2 is Jalen Hurts at 4.1. And number 3 and 4 are Kyron in the mid to late second round, which could climb to 3.1, and Mahomes at 5.1. Those are the best picks in fantasy football 2024.
I got you. I'm just big on targets. Like I said about Olave last time, I think they're going to get a huge amount of targets. And if I had to gamble on it, I think Wilson, to be honest, I think Wilson could finish as wide receiver number 1. If you get the touchdowns,
he could. I mean, trust your gut.
Trust
your gut. I want to talk you out of it. I just think that, make him your second drafted player if possible. And Garrett Wilson has a better chance of falling than Gibbs does. Garrett Wilson has a better chance of falling than Marvin Harrison Jr. does. So on Underdog Fantasy, promo code Smitty, Garrett Wilson's ADP. Well, actually, Garrett Wilson and Marvin are about neck and neck. But you know who's climbing? He's Olave.
Yeah.
He's sometimes bumping one of those guys down.
Yes, he is. Yeah, and we spoke about that. I was telling you that last time we spoke about it.
Yeah,
I think
it's insane.
He's good. Again, I'm going based on targets, though.
Hey, guys.
I think his targets with no Michael Thomas.
Yeah. Real quickly, Underdog Fantasy, promo code Smitty. Hang tight real quick, bro. Hang tight real quick. Underdog Fantasy, promo code Smitty. Use code Smitty, and they'll double your first, or actually, Sorry, let me read the new text here. The code Smitty, use code Smitty or the link that I'm dropping in the live chat right now and claim your special pick. You'll get a special pick by signing up. All first-time depositors will get a special pick. And then your first-time deposit offer of up to $250 in bonus cash. I don't know the exact number they'll pick for you. I think it fluctuates, and so you could be one of the people getting the $250 in deposit offer. First time deposit offer up to $250 in bonus cash. And I don't know how much. I don't even think it's not even the bonus match. It's a deposit offer. So you could get that from just signing up. So click the link. We're gonna jump into a draft right now. So everybody click the BBM Best Ball Mania. If you go on the app, click that link right now. If you want to get on this draft, click this link. Download Underdog. Use code Smitty or click the link. The link inserts code Smitty for you. The link's in the description of the video. If you're watching a replay, and I've dropped it in the live chat tons of times, go to BBM. It's on the main. So if you pull up the Underdog app, you got the lobby on the top left, right, and you got drafts selected at the bottom. So you're going to click on drafts, and you're going to make sure lobby selected at the top. Then you're going to see a bunch of cards that you can swipe through. The third card is BBM. You click BBM and hit the green button now. And I'm going to wait about 10 seconds because there's a YouTube delay. So I want to make sure that we're all getting in the same draft together. But jump into the draft. Best Ball Mania. And hold on one second. Active draft. Okay, who's on the line right now? Who was I just talking to?
He lives on
Thomas.
Bay Area Thomas. Bay Area Thomas, do you have anything else, bro?
Yeah. No, that's good. I was just checking in with the Marvin Harrison Jr. thing.
Yeah, I know you sound pretty set in your ways, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. I don't want you to take that the wrong way. But yeah, I don't think anybody's going to convince you to not go with Garrett Wilson. So just trust your gut. Your gut's telling you that that's the best pick, and I don't want to argue, you away from your gut instinct. But I will say that I believe, to be honest with you, I believe the best player in fantasy is Gibbs, and you shouldn't walk away from that.
Yeah.
Because in your league, this is not a best ball draft. This is with your buddies, right?
Yes, PPR, full PPR.
I wonder if Marvin Harrison Jr. falls to you. I think he's more likely to fall to you in a buddy league than in a draft where people are paying over and over and over. So if you walk away with Gibbs and Harrison, you smashed it. If you walk away with Garrett Wilson and I don't know, Garrett Wilson and what running back? Barkley? I don't know if that's as good.
Harrison, I'll go wide receiver.
Okay.
Chargers galore.
I'm fine with that too.
Harrison and Wilson.
I'm fine with that too.
Okay. Well, good talking to you, Smith.
All right, bro. Appreciate you.
Touch,
I appreciate you later.
All right.
Let me go back over to go to Marsman Rock Out and then back to Tebow. Tebow's in this draft, by the way. Marsman Rock Out is drafting from the 1 spot. You took Christian McCaffrey. How you doing, Marsman Rock Out?
Doing good. How you feel about Pollard and Spears in Tennessee?
I'm not touching Pollard, and I'm drafting the hell out of Spears, who is a God. Isn't he?
Same.
Oh, he's a midseason monster. Is what he is. Let me click that. Yeah, Spears is a midseason monster, and he's practically free. And the Tony Pollard signing is a blessing in disguise at the end of the day because it ended up making Spears even cheaper. And while it doesn't put Spears in the driver's seat, maybe that's a good thing. Maybe he needs his back against the wall. No fear. You know what I mean? So I'm okay with it. I'm on the clock here in a couple seconds. It went McCaffrey, CeeDee Lamb, Tyreek. Guys, code Smitty, Underdog Fantasy. Links in the description of the video.
Wilson, number 8.
Yeah, jeez. Is that the guy that was just on the phone? So,
maybe.
Amon-Ra, Puka, A.J. Brown. I'm going to go. I guess I'll go Amon. No, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to go Amon-Ra.
Good pick.
Yeah, I'm going to go Amon-Ra.
Can't go wrong with that.
Amon-Ra. Jahmyr Gibbs. Tebow's on the clock. Tebow, walk us through your pick, Tebow. What are you thinking here? What are you doing? What do you hear? What do you say?
So, well, hey, I'm going with the best player available, and I've got to take Mr. MHJ here.
He's going so high. Stop.
I was really going to go Gibbs, but Series 9 trumped me on that.
Bro, Puka Nacua is a fantastic value at 12. Whoever's drafting here, it's great value. I almost went Puka. I love Marvin Harrison Jr. I'm sticking to my guns that 11 is the highest I'll draft him for now, not because he can't deliver, but just because I don't want to be a part of ruining his ADP. But 11's
I don't mind ruining it.
Yeah, 11's fine.
Not bad.
AJ Brown and Puka back to back. Marvin Harrison Jr. and Tebow, what are you doing here? What are you thinking? What do you say?
Back on the cut.
I think I'm going to try and really make this. Oh man, God, I don't know. I could go either Devontae or Kyron on this one. I think I'm going to go. I think I got to take Devontae. Yeah.
Easy says, where does Smitty rate Justin Herbert? I don't know, bro. Backup quarterback in fantasy. He's not in the top. He's not in the top 10, 12 quarterbacks. It is what it is. It doesn't mean he's not an amazing talent, but he's just not there. You can't. How do you rank him? I'm gonna go Barkley here. Barkley, Amon-Ra, pretty solid combo. I think it's very steady. Two steady Eddie picks right there. Both capable of being top 5 at their position. I didn't want to force anything. So I think that was good. Balance is always the key if you can get away with balance. What Tebow's doing with Jahmyr Gibbs you don't have Jahmyr Gibbs. You have Marvin Harrison and Devontae Adams at wide receiver. Nothing wrong with that. That was his best player available approach. And the team in between us with Jahmyr Gibbs and Kyron, I believe that's one of our guys. That's a good approach too. That's a good approach too. It just, you got to hit your wide receivers, but that's the fun of it. If that's your best player available, you do it.
So is stage 9 on the phone here at all?
No, but that's one of ours, because he's drafting off
he was our sniper last night.
Yeah, he drafted the Moon Man and the Mars Man and he's got the manual. Easy 3 says, damn, that's crazy. But how is it crazy? Like, you're free to call in, Easy. You're free to call in and debate me on why I'm crazy. Herbert's not sniffing my top 10. Not even sniffing it. He's not even in like he's not even on deck. He's not even in the hole. I mean, call up and debate it with me. Tell me what your glorious Harbaugh. Tell me what your glorious Jimmy Harbaugh has done with this offense, because he's literally dismantled it and then didn't really build it back up. And you can say build from the trenches all you want. I mean, it's great, but you could have done so many other things as well to at least support that claim. We're going to build from the trenches. Great. No one's saying Joe Alt's a bad pick. Some will say it's a bad pick because you didn't even really need that exact position on the line and you got to move people around now. But even so, like, you can't tell me, oh, it's a great pick and say that things are all good. Like, you can say it's a great pick, but he really kind of screwed up on several levels by not bringing in an RB, by trading away Keenan Allen for nothing, for letting Mike Williams, Keenan Allen, Eckler, and pretty much just cutting bait on everybody, and then bringing in mediocre, mundane talent like J.K. Dobbins and Gus Edwards as your starting running backs. DJ Chark was just signed. Like, this is the biggest mid-group of wide receivers I've ever seen. And Quentin Johnston's proven nothing. You'd probably get rid of him if he could. Like, I bet he could, and he's like, we'll wait till next year to cut him. But it's like, I like McConkey. And Easy, I appreciate you. I'm not mad at you. I'm just... McConkey's good. I like McConkey a lot. I don't know that I love this spot for him. I really wanted him to go somewhere a little different. He's definitely he's definitely a guy I like a lot. I love McConkey. I wanted him in Buffalo, but I'm really starting to love the Keon Coleman selection for Buffalo. And this kid's a pretty big film guy.
Does Sebastian go for? Does he go for it again? Does he try this time?
Does he try for what?
The Josh Allen stack. Oh, there it is.
He doesn't have a stack though.
No, he's starting to build it.
He just got Josh Allen.
Yeah, but I mean, he isn't. Yeah, I just mean having Josh Allen build.
Yeah, really. Yeah, all you need is Josh Allen, and you got the Buffalo stack.
Yeah. Bijan, Olave. I don't like the Olave pick, but I love the Allen and Bijan picks. But Olave, as much as I love Olave, and I do, guys, but second round's too rich right now. For me, anyway. Breece Hall, Devon Achane, and Mike Evans, pretty interesting. Diggs goes here, and this team that's drafting here has Garrett Wilson and London. Let's see what they do. If they go wide receiver, then we know they're following the Excel sheet Eric spread blueprint. Gotta go. You need 4 straight wide receivers. Doesn't matter who they are. Put a blindfold on and just sit there while you're eating your bacon and hit the button and just draft a wide receiver. There it is. DJ Moore. It's just gonna go 3. We're gonna go 3. We're just gonna go. Doesn't matter who it is. We're just gonna go 3. Because I don't want to get sniped later, I'm doing this now, and I this is how much I love Jaylen Hurts. And given that this is a Jaylen Hurts stream, I want to have him for this stream, and I'm going to take Jaylen Hurts there, which is only 3 spots away from being that 4.1. So my whole point here is proving he's a smash. He's a league winner, even when you're slightly reaching 3 picks for him. I'm reaching 3 picks for him, and I'm doing it live. So smashing the hell out of the Jaylen Hurts pick here. That's I'm balanced as hell too. I'm on Rob Barkley, got the little stack there. Jaylen Hurts, boom, boom.
Don't roast me, Smitty. I went 3 wide receivers.
Well, but I think you're genuinely probably trying to pick the best player available, and that's okay. But anybody else that's like, who's drafting from? I just want to be careful I'm not roasting somebody that's one of our people. I don't know. It's tough to know. This isn't to say this is a bad approach, but like the Malik Neighbors in the 2nd round in New York, like really, we're drafting Malik Neighbors in the 2nd round still when he's in a New York Giant, and then you're drafting Nico Collins, who I like, but so that team, the Jamar Chase team, is forcing wide receiver like I've never seen it in my life. And that's not a good approach in my opinion. This Garrett Wilson, London, DJ Moore team is forcing wide receiver. Arguably the best picks at the draft. The team at the end, who is the team at the end? I don't think that's one of ours. If it is, no offense to you, but you just took 4 straight wide receivers. What in the hell are you doing? And everyone's going to say, this is how you win best ball, Smitty. It's what I've been told. Well, let's see if I can build, or anybody that has more balance can build a competitive wide receiver room, and see what you do at RB.
Yeah, let's see.
Trey McBride, good pick. But, we'll see what you do at RB, bro. Do I just continue to go down the road of balance? Let's do it. Travis Kelce. I have the most balance I could have. I have Amon-Ra, Saquon Barkley, Jalen Hurts, Travis Kelce. No stacking other than Hurts and Barkley, but that's still a stack. But look at that. I like that. That's a really good start, in my opinion. Sebastian, you were on the phone line. Sebastian, you're live.
I'm in the draft right now, but honestly, I didn't want to lobby. I wanted H-Ham, but he went 1 pick before. I was gonna do. Let's see what else. I was gonna do Bijan, H-Ham, and Evans if I got H-Ham.
Really?
Garrett Wilson, Drake.
know.
Did I call it or did I call it? The Garrett Wilson team is 100% drafting only wide receivers in the first 4 rounds. Look at that: Drake London, DJ Moore, Keenan Allen. Why would you take Keenan Allen in the 4th round when you're already struggling at those other positions? It's not like can anybody explain to me how I can't go get a Keenan Allen replacement around 7 or 8? Go land a sleeper, go land a breakout, find a Brian Thomas Jr., Keon Coleman, one of those guys, and then replace Keenan Allen and get yourself a Lamar at least, or a Travis Etienne or something. Etienne and the later wide receiver trumps Keenan Allen, this later running back he's going to get. This doesn't make any sense at all.
He should have gone Waddle for upside if he's just going to go 4 receivers in a row.
But
no,
all you can do is look at his name, Chicago Fan 12. I mean, he's a pure homer drafting his team.
Thomas is right below Code Smitty on the bottom of the screen right here. Code Smitty, Underdog Fantasy. But if you use the link in the description or the link I'm dropping in the live chat, the link will download Underdog and put the link, insert the code for you. But it's right below Code Smitty. Try to make it bright yellow. Thank you for that.
How much you want to bet he goes to Doomsday in round 5?
What? Wait, one at a time. What?
So how much you want to bet he goes to Doomsday in round 5?
He might, bro.
Mr. Chicago.
Yeah.
And then that'll tee it right up into DeAndre Swift.
But look, it's a pattern too. You can see like team number 8 is doing that wide receiver blind. Let's not how boring is that? How boring is that too? You're just taking a position, and team 12 is doing the same thing. It's all wide receiver, and it creates a problem though because it makes a shortage at the position, and it makes other people do it. And then sometimes you do end up not having a draft that you love because you got sniped to pieces at wide receiver, but it doesn't scare me away. I do so many underdog drafts. I'm going to have a bad draft or two because of snipage, and I'm going to stick to my guns and my beliefs that I will have a better wide receiver room than people expect, going with the guys late that I love, drafting the rooms that I believe I can draft, and competitively I will be closer to these 4 wide receiver rooms than they think, and they will not be close to my QB room or my running back room. They're not going to even be remotely close, whereas I will be closer than they ever anticipated at the wide receiver position. If I land my draft, and if I don't, then I had a bad draft, and that's fine. You're going to have that, but it is what it is. All right, this guy right here, what's he going to do? Is he going wide receiver again? Sometimes the wide receiver guys will go quarterback before they even go running back.
Watch.
He might go Doomsday here. What's he going to do? Is he going to time out? Kyle Pitts. He didn't go. Look, predictable. He didn't go running back.
That's crazy.
Best pick here, according to my calculations, is going to be Rachaad White. So Barkley, Rachaad White, feeling pretty good about this team so far. Rise Above says, Smitty, spectacular start. Brown, Barkley, Hurts, Kelsey. I like that. Oh, that's mine. I was thinking A.J. Brown. I was just thinking, oh, you drafted that too? You just got A.J. No, he's talking about mine, St. Brown. St. Brown. Well, that does look like a good start. I recognize that one. That's mine. You could throw Rachaad White in there now, Rise Above. Who's somebody breathing heavy there? No offense. It's like somebody's like breathing into the phone or mouth breathing into the phone. Who's mouth breathing? Somebody asleep? Smitty, read this. NFL arm talent. My top 5 would be Mahomes, Allen, Herbert, Burrow, Stroud. Anyone else agree? God, he wants me to love Herbert so bad. I'm sorry, my guy. I just don't know. I disagree. I like Herbert a lot, but guess what? You're never going to see that arm talent. You're never going to see it. Okay, do I leave a Dunze for this guy?
Yes.
I need a wide receiver. You know, this feels early, but I don't really care because he's my favorite player, like my favorite wide receiver. I think he's going to have a huge year. I'm going to go JSN. And while that might seem 5-6 wide receivers too early according to the rank, he's not going to make it back to me. And I feel very confident in Amon-Ra and JSN personally. Now, not everybody's on the JSN train. I get that. Everybody's going to be waiting. Is this going to be the year? Is Lockett going to finally get hurt? He's 75 years old, and eventually he's going to get hurt. And, Pete Carroll didn't run a lot of 3 wide receiver sets. You got to think that they're changing that and utilizing their talent. So JSN should be on the field a lot more this year. He just couldn't get enough plays to be worth anything last year. I think the same thing that happened to JSN, people are rightfully so afraid is going to happen to Odunze. Sick Nasty says, Smitty, underdog has a very unhappy, you mean unhappy customer in myself right now?
Bro,
well, what happened?
Superfish, bro, sniped me on Achan and Kittle. God damn.
Superfish is drafting from the 7. So they took
fuck it. Bowling QB, I don't care.
Are they from the 6 pick? Is Superfish from the 6 pick? So Superfish has Breece Hall, Achan, Mike Evans, CJ Stroud, Reed, and Kittle. Very good balance, Superfish. I love the balance on that. I'm always going to be a proponent of balance. You did great. That's fantastic.
I wanted Achan and Kittle, and they both went 1 pick right before me.
I'm gonna pick on Tebow right now. Tebow, you're from the 11 spot, right?
I am.
Yeah, and don't you feel like you're a little bit? Aren't you a little worried about your running backs?
Not at all.
Okay.
Not in the least bit.
You only have 1, so it's hard to be too worried about him yet because they're not there. But
no. Very true. See, that's why I'm not worried about him.
Apparently
I
not.
have him on my roster to worry about.
Apparently not.
Hey man, I've gone farther than the sixth round waiting to get an RB before, so this is. I thought I'd change it up for this draft. I didn't want to go Najee and do all that type again, so I'm trying to do something different for you guys tonight.
We appreciate that,
Tebow.
Tebow. Thank you for changing it up for us. We've been wondering. Arthur says Jalen Hurts QB1, damn straight. Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts, and Mahomes are all
God,
arguable.
Ooh, oh my God, Kaz, unbelievable.
Kyler got sniped from you, bro.
Yeah, but was I really going to take him?
No.
He's ADP 81.
No, who is that? Who took him? Who is that?
It's this guy Kaz, because I'm actually auto drafting with him in another in a mini schnauzer one, but that's all right.
Are you friends with him, or does he watch the show? Or
no. He's in the show. He's in the room.
Okay. Hey, who is that in the show? What's your YouTube name? You just sniped him. You just pissed him off. That's okay. It's okay. I just want to know who it was.
I better not have gifted him a membership. I'm going to pull it back.
Easy, God, easy. Let it go, bro. Easy's like, take Herbert. This guy wants me to like Herbert so bad, bro. I don't like Herbert. I love Herbert as a quarterback and a person, and we wanted him to go to Minnesota. We truly did. It would have been glorious. You know why he didn't go to Minnesota? I don't know. I wish he would have went to Minnesota, bro. He didn't, though. It is what it is. I wish he did.
I'm in the draft room right now, and they're on pick 40. Allen still hasn't got taken yet. That's crazy.
On the clock.
Yeah. Man.
Getting dried up.
I guess I'll go Hopkins just to get this wide receiver room tightened up a little bit. I think that's good. I'm sure you wanted Zamir. Zamir got snagged there.
No, I didn't want him.
You know, Love's a good quarterback, bro. If you don't have a quarterback right now, there you go. I was going to say, you're going to regret not taking Jordan Love if you get sniped here.
He's my dynasty QB.
This guy from the end spot, he's got nothing but wide receiver. This is the dumbest strategy you could deploy.
I was just...
Puka Nacua, A.J. Brown, Cooper Kupp. Obviously, look, those three I'm fine with. You go those three, that's best player available. It works out. It is what it is. Michael Pittman Jr., Rashee Rice, Xavier Worthy. What in the hell is he doing? DeAndre Swift. Ooh, nice, good running back one. Guy's going to get hurt by week 3 if he even makes it to week 1. He got overworked by Philly. They ran him like a between-the-tackle running back. I'm sorry if that's one of the people in this live chat. Tony Pollard and Swift. What a botched, no offense, what a botched draft. You just gave away your money. You just gave away your money.
Cause I'm making sure you're getting no Cardinals.
Yeah, Kenneth Walker and Benson available too. Both taken right after him. That's crazy.
Yeah, I knew Tebow was going to reach on Trey Benson. It's a little early, but like, you know, I understand.
He wasn't going to come back, and I wanted him.
I guess I'll go Keon Coleman here.
Sebastian is. I can hear him.
Darn, I want
I can hear him.
Oh, Superfish is going to snipe me again. I know who he's going to pick. I know who he's going to pick, too.
Well, I wouldn't say it out loud, brother.
Say the wrong name.
I wouldn't either.
Got it. You just got to say the wrong name. Just be like, I hope you don't take Jake Ferguson. Please don't take Jake Ferguson.
Nah, bro, it's Tank Bigsby, bro. Need my handcuff.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Smitty.
Yeah.
What do you think of that Joe Burrow pick for best player available round 6? Bully QB. Is that too high?
No, I don't mind. I don't mind bully QB that high. I think look at the players around there. They're good though. You know, like there's still Ridley, there's still Kenneth Walker, there's still Ramondre.
I wanted Kittle, bro.
But can you survive losing that player and replacing them later? I think so. You know, Trey Benson shouldn't have gone that early. We're in a draft where everybody's sniping everybody. He's going about right now, which technically he only took him like 8-9 spots early or whatever, so it's not a huge deal. But I'm saying, like, if you were like right now, you took Burrow in that where are you at? Your draft slot, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? So in that 5th round, let me hold on, I can put something on here to highlight it. Let me just click this 1 second. Okay, so you're right here. So you took Joe Burrow here. So instead of taking Ramondre or Aaron Jones, right here, Jaylen Warren is a good pick as well. But like Trey Benson and Burrow will probably be better than going whatever player here and quarterback here. So at the end of the day, you know, Benson's a great 95 to 105 player.
Smitty, I really think Jaylen Warren is better than Najee.
He is better than Najee.
They're both the same ADP.
He is better than Najee. I believe he is. I think they're both good, but yeah.
He's more efficient. And he's got less mileage and injury, too.
Do you ever do this, Smitty? Like you're doing a draft and you're looking at the board and you're looking at how all the players are falling down and you go, oh man, that's a team I'm going to try and draft the next time I'm in this like particular area. Like I'm looking at like 2 teams and I'm like, no, I like that. I like that, but I'm going to tweak it.
I mean, I don't know. Sometimes you see maybe something where I'm like, hey, that I can't believe that guy fell there. I'm going to try and get that player. But, I mean, team-wise, I mean, maybe a little bit, but not. I'm too busy liking my teams. But I occasionally draft. I occasionally draft a bad team. I'm not saying I don't, but like I think the benefit of going best player available is you don't feel that as much because you don't. The times you feel that are when you force a position and you just end up looking at another team. You're like, damn, that looks balanced. But I always try and draft balance when I can, and that leaves me very satisfied more times than not with my squad. On the clock now. We're going to go Zach Moss. I think that's a fantastic running back to add to the arsenal here. Barkley, Rashad White, Zach Moss. I've got Amon-Ra, JSN, DeAndre Hopkins, Keon Coleman. I've got Jalen Hurts. I got Travis Kelce. I'm liking this team.
I'll take a little Austin Eck, the Alvin Kamara of 2024, right, Smitty?
Yeah, I mean, a shot at it, but the one thing I don't like about Eckler right now is he's had kind of a defeated mentality lately, it seems. Like he said the reason he didn't stay in LAC is because they asked him to do something that play a role that he didn't want to play. What was that, full-time? Like, whoa. And I didn't know what he meant by it, but then you go to his, like, you know, his Instagram and you follow him and he keeps talking about, like, you know, I don't know. It just feels like maybe he's preparing for a lesser role or something to an extreme degree. I don't know. I'm a little worried that he'll have the volume he needs, but we'll see. It's a tough spot to be in because Brian Robinson Jr. isn't exactly going to relinquish everything, and so how can he really be great? I don't know. I think injury to like the running back room and then Eckler's leaned upon could be potentially the avenue, but then that's going to be like in best ball valuable, like 4 or 5 games maybe where that becomes something that we're.
My second QB snipe of the night. Got Jaden Daniels sniped from me.
I went with Tajay.
Superfish. If you take Tua, bro.
Yeah, don't Superfish. Don't take Jared Goff.
Don't take Tua.
Yeah, bro. Actually, not Singletary, bro. I want a 28-year-old running back. That's what I want.
David, why are you typing 7,000 messages that say the same thing over and over? What are you doing?
What's that?
One of my mods one of my mods can put you in timeout real quick. Put him in timeout. There's no reason to say this 8,000 times. Guess DJ Chark is a Charger. Who cares?
All right.
What's the need for the 5,000 messages on that one? DJ Chark's nothing. This is. I mean, maybe that's what you're trying to say, but like more mid. This is wholly mid wide receiver room.
Hey, Smitty.
Yeah.
What do you think of the back-to-back Bills in the wide receiver 3 slot?
I mean, look at all these messages from David. David, why are you sounding the alarm on this with 15 straight messages? Look at all these messages from David.
Damn.
Back to back to back to back. LOL. Chark. LOL. Chark. Here we go. Chart. I keep saying chart. Let me correct that. Chart. Sorry. Guess DJ Moore. DJ Chart is a Charger. He keeps writing chart. His phone keeps writing chart. And not only does he write this, he has to correct himself every time and put an asterisk and put guess DJ Chart is a Charger. He pastes it over, then he puts the LOL, then he puts the asterisk, then he pastes it again wrong, then he pastes it again wrong over and over and over. David, no one cares. DJ Chark is garbage. I forgot he was even a football player.
League winner.
Let's see here. All right, boys. I'm going to cycle off everybody on the phone line. Final thoughts. Mars Man Rock out. Final thoughts, my guy.
No, I'm good. Appreciate it.
Oh, your team. Let me go over your team real quick. You're in the 1 spot, right?
Yeah, everybody was sniping me to death.
God, I didn't even think to mention your team. You've been on the phone line the whole time. McCaffrey, Josh Jacobs, DK. Great start. Pickens, Anthony Richardson, Jordan Addison, Kamara, Jamison Williams, Ferguson, Justin Herbert, Jahan Dotson. I don't mind your team. It's a good team. Team number 2, Ayuk. Ayuk's too early in the second round for me. I can't get behind a team. No offense, whoever that is. I just can't get behind the team and say, oh, it's going to win. James Cook in round 4 is way too early. I don't like that. Tyreek, Debo, Henry. Great start. Pacheco, Mark Andrews, Ramondre, Dak. It's a pretty good team. Jamar Chase from the 4. Malik Neighbors, Nico. You lost me there. Nick Mixon. No, thanks. This is like the all second chance team and then unproven team. This entire team. There's a type. Everybody has a type. It's funny. Bijan Robinson, Chris Olave, Josh Allen. Love it. I love the start minus Olave. I swap Olave out with somebody, and I don't know who I would swap him out with though, because like it did get thin, you know. Tough to say. Hold on, let me just real quickly look at my team. I'm on the clock. I was timing out. I just, jeez. Superfish, I think, is from the Bijan spot, right? Or is that Superfish? Bijan Olave. So I like everything but Olave,
No.
but Olave is good. I mean, I still love Olave. I just don't know that I love his situation. So Bijan Olave, Josh Allen, Travis Etienne's great value. Amari Cooper, Joe Burrow. Oh no, who was that? Who was that did that? Sebastian. Okay, that's Sebastian's team. I like that. That's good. Jalen Warren. I like that team. It's good. Brees Hall, Devon Achane, Evans, CJ Stroud, Jaden Reed, George Kittle, Monty. Pretty solid. I don't hate that team. Justin Jefferson, JT Diggs, Jalen Waddle, T. Higgins, Roma Dunze, Chris Godwin, Deontay. Too many wide receivers for me. Just no balance. This other team, Garrett Wilson, Drake London, DJ Moore, Keenan Allen. Come on, Christian Kirk, Lab McConkey. Give me a break. What are we doing here? Your boy drafting that team from the 9 spot. Amon-Ra, Saquon, Jalen Hurts, Travis Kelce. That's best player available if I've ever seen it. Look at it. Take it in. Soak it in. Let me go. Damn, the QBs flying off the board here. I guess I'll take May. Yeah, so like Rashad White, I think that was a great 5th round pick too. And then JSN, I could see the argument there. Hopkins, Coleman, Zach Moss. I love Zach Moss there. It's a good team. Not my best team I've ever drafted, but I'm very, very pleased with it. The 10 spot, Jahmyr Gibbs, Kyron, Devonta Smith, Mahomes, Hollywood, Calvin Ridley, Zamir White, Brock Bowers. This is like the Smitty rankings constantly being deployed by him in the drafts. It's good execution. I feel like if I was in a coma, I might just tell him to draft my team because he's just going to draft it. So that's good. Marvin Harrison Jr., Devontae Adams, Tank Dell, McBride, McLaurin, Kenneth Walker, Jordan Love, Trey Benson. I honestly don't, no offense, Tebow, but this is like the 2nd or 3rd time in a row you've done a draft where you've said something like, I'm just trying something different, or I'm just doing something like, I feel like you should try to draft best player available and balance if you can. I feel like you go too heavy on one position, and I like the team. I just don't love it. Is your team from the 11th spot going to win this whole thing? No. Never know. You never know.
Well, but see, you got that one. You have to understand. I got sniped. Like this team should look completely different. It should be Kyler Murray and Jaden Daniels, and then So I mean, hey, a lineup isn't going to work out. 100% of the time.
Yeah.
But I liked the start. It started out all right, but once Kyler got sniped, I thought I could recover with Jordan Love.
I guess if Kenneth Walker and Benson become top 10 running backs somehow, then like your team's in it to win it. But yeah, I just like to see you do a balanced team the next time we draft, if you can. If best player available allows it, try and draft some balance, and let's just see what your team looks like. I have a feeling I'd grade you really high because I think you have some good draft tendencies. But it's just like you get put in a box, and then all of a sudden you got to draft all these. Look, you're drafting all running backs down low, and you have to. They're not bad. You did pretty good, honestly.
I was gonna say, it's like Jalen Wright, it's Trey Benson. I mean, you got two guys there that I think are going to have a legitimate shot of getting some work this year.
Yeah, I don't mind. I don't mind. It's a good team. It's just I think you have a better team if you went balanced. Puka, AJ Brown, Cooper Kupp started out good, even though it was 3 straight receivers. I'm okay with that if best player available dictates it, and it kind of did. Those are 3 really good players. And then Michael Pittman Jr., Rashee Rice, Xavier Worthy, DeAndre Swift, Tony. This team started sharding its pants all the way down from round 4 on. This is the way people describe the Falcons draft. That's how I feel this draft went. But so there it is. Go ahead, Tebow. Final thoughts.
Kind of dumbfounded. Yeah, to me, it was also just the guy in the 12th spot. Why do you go Rashee Rice and Xavier Worthy after Patrick Mahomes has already been taken at that point? You could have gone somewhere else and built out a better team.
I don't know. It's a good question. All right, man. We'll see you later, Tebow. Thank you. Appreciate you.
Right on, brother.
Not knocking your team. You actually did really good. I would say you did like really good considering. No. But I do want to see you draft a balanced team. I want to see what it looks like. All right, later.
Hey, as we all say, 150 drafts. You got to have a few unique.
But you said, right? I know you said the first time you said that, I said touche, and you know what? I apologize. Like once you got off the phone line, I was like, I reamed his team, and he's right. Why not try something crazy? But you say that every time you get off the phone line in a draft. You say, got 150. It's like, bro, how many times can you use that line? I want to see you draft a balanced team.
But that's the whole thing, though. You gotta, it's about your draft position.
Okay.
And where you're drafting,
Tebow,
who you can take.
Tebow, you're not going to get me this time. I apologize last time because that line was really good. But draft a balanced team, damn it! I'm asking you.
Necessary, brother. No,
I'm asking you.
Necessary.
Draft a balanced team. I'm asking you. All right, later. I want to see it.
Late.
Sebastian, you are live. Any final thoughts, my guy?
I don't know, Smith. I felt pretty good about round 6 through 12. Not gonna lie.
What's your team? What draft slot? Did I rip it apart? 5. 1, 2, 3, 4.
The Bills back to back.
Oh, I told you I liked.
3.
I told you I liked your team. I said it was a good team.
I didn't really like the start, but I think it cleaned up a little.
Let's see here. Man. What do I do?
Pretty dry.
I'll go. I kind of think he's got upside. I'll go Kendre Miller. I think he could be pretty decent. Okay. Final thoughts, Sebastian. Your team from the 5 spot, 2, 3, 4. So the Joe Burrow team, right? Let me scroll up. So the 5 slot: Bijan, Olave, Josh Allen, ETN, Cooper, Joe Burrow. I like it. Good squad. I'd say you're definitely in the top 5, top 6.
What are your thoughts on Jalen Wright? It's very intriguing.
I like him. I don't like his landing spot as much as I could have if he went to like the Dallas Cowboys or something like that. But I think he's not touching Achan's role at all. I think eventually it comes down to
he's a hacker.
It comes down to when Mostert gets hurt, then he gets a role. Until then, I don't think he's getting much work. But Mostert's old. He's an old man.
He's Cowboys running back because normally it's gonna be Zeke the whole season.
I mean, Zeke is their running back. That's the one that they picked. That's their guy. The whole fan base is delusional. They're like, oh, we got Zeke back. Yeah. It's like, really? Okay.
But didn't Pollard take over that one year?
No, not yet. He didn't. I mean, they were splitting it. They were both doing well. It was a equal timeshare. Zeke was getting a lot of work. No. But Zeke definitely didn't do well between the tackles last year. He did pretty decent catching the football though. He did. He truly did.
I don't know, and I'm not gonna lie too. I think Derrick Henry is also a bust candidate. That's just me though.
I mean, because he's older. I mean, he's definitely a candidate to maybe not be as good as people want him to be. No doubt about it. All right, appreciate you, Sebastian. We'll see you later.
Have a good one.
Rock out. Any final thoughts, my man? Nice team. I like your team.
Yeah, who you think could be the top dog in Denver for the wide receiver spot?
Top dog in Denver for the wide receiver spot. I mean, some might say Mims, but I think Franklin, just because the quarterback is Bo Nix. Bo Nix has no loyalties to anybody but his guy that they brought over. So it's a good spot. It's a really good spot to be in for Franklin. I mean, Franklin's got a huge advantage. You know, that's like going to a school where nobody knows anybody, but like two people transferred together. They're gonna sit together at the lunch table.
Pretty good situation for them too.
Yeah. All right, bro. Appreciate you.
All right. Appreciate it.
Later. All right. Underdog Fantasy promo code Smitty. Underdog Fantasy promo code Smitty. Do it live. There's the link one more time. Drop it like it's hot. Hit the link. Be ready for next time. Don't be caught, scrambling. Herbert Chark stack incoming, says Brian. Come on, bro. You and the other guy in here, Easy. You guys would make fast friends. Easy, meet Brian. Brian, meet Easy. Both are over-optimistic Charger fans that somehow think Herbert's going to the moon this year. You guys would be fast friends. Like, move the bunk beds together, more room for activities. Just don't touch his drum set. Brian gets a little uptight about that. But other than that, you guys will be fast friends. You'll enjoy each other's company. And you guys can talk offline about the Chargers. Smitty drafted Bryce Young. Why not? It's my third QB. I mean, all the QBs got sniped. It wasn't like my favorite pick of all time. But I wanted to get two competent backup quarterbacks for my Jalen Hurts. I got Drake May, who isn't guaranteed anything, but should start the whole year assuming he's healthy. And then Bryce Young, I think, got a bunch of weapons, and I think he's not bad as a backup in best ball. I wouldn't take him in a 1 QB non-best ball, probably. He just has expressed his opposing views on Bryce Young is all, says Ruff. I mean, I have, but bro, that was before the draft. Make sure you make that point abundantly clear, because they had an A-, A+ draft. You know what I'm saying? You give him Jonathan Brooks, you give Bryce Young Leggett. I mean, this is a whole different thing, a whole different topic. Pre-NFL draft, Bryce Young didn't have a lot to go on. So this is a good year for Bryce Young. He's definitely not a guy you draft in a 1 QB non-best ball. So I really like him this year, though. Not only in best ball. Only in best ball. And I'm definitely the kind of person that drafts multiple quarterbacks. Especially, I'm going to draft one more just to make sure I don't get sniped here, because I'm drafting with friends. So now I have, I believe, my quarterback room on lock. I'm going to be protected over injury. I'm protected over rookies not playing, or I'm protected over injury. This is an 18-team draft, so you have to be careful not to crowd one position too much. You need wide receivers. You need a backup tight end. You sometimes need a third tight end. On top of that, it's a risky business trying to balance everything. But I think I'm balancing it the best I can at this point. The wide receiver rooms thinned out tremendously. The running back rooms, that's pretty dry. I don't know who the best wide receiver is left. It got thin quick. Really quick. DJ Chark's available. If anybody wants to take DJ Chark. Let's see here. Marvin Mims, or do I go with a... Damn. I think I'm probably gonna... It's a little risky, but I'm gonna take a gamble on Burton. Smitty, count teams 8 wide receivers now. It's over 75% of their teams. I consider going one tight end with Mark Andrews earlier. Don't go one tight end. You probably need 3. I mean, think about it. Your tight end goes on a bye week, and then you could go with 2, but you definitely don't want to go with 1. You can't. All right, guys, appreciate you all. Thank you for, I'm going to finish that draft out, obviously. Thank you for joining me here on the Fantasy Football Show. Thank you for dialing in if you did. Thank you for super chatting if you did. Thank you for gifting memberships if you did. The gifted memberships came by way of Tebow dropping 5. Then I think somebody else dropped 5. Tebow dropped another 5 gifted memberships. He dropped 2 sets of 5 memberships. If you got a gifted membership from Tebow, please thank him for doing that. Celebratory messages, I don't think I have any tonight. And my super chats are Elvis and Thomas and Rise Above. And anybody else that dropped a super chat that I don't have on screen here. I appreciate you all for coming in strong and bringing those. You guys absolutely rock. So thank you all for being here. Thanks for enjoying and consuming this channel as much as you do, and I hope that you continue to and spread the word the best of your ability, whether it's telling people in elevators or at bars or on a street corner, someone's wearing a jersey or an Eagles jacket, and you just lean over and you go, the Fantasy Football Show, biatch, watch it. It's there for you. It's there for the taking. We need more people. We need this thing to grow, and you don't have to tell people in your league, but you could certainly have pride in the fact that you're a part of this thing. Tell people, say, I'm a regular on the Fantasy Football Show. I dial into the phone line, baby. Come listen, come watch. You'll love it. Tell some stranger that you've never talked to before. You can spread the word. Hit the thumb up button on the way out the door, and don't forget, Jalen Hurts will win leagues in 2024. Jalen Hurts, who's going at 4.1, is arguably the first or second best pick in all of fantasy. Jalen Hurts is a sleeper in 2024. Yes, you heard me correct. The definition of a sleeper on this channel is any player being slept on, value-wise, ADP-wise. And the fact that he's going at 4.1, I can't think of a better definition of sleeper in 2024. And while people will remember the story differently, they're going to say, let's look at your Saturn man list.
The Saturn men.
One small step for man, one giant leap for Saturn.
Mahomes? Oh, yeah, those are real tough predictions, Smitty. when Hurts finishes as QB1 or 2 and Mahomes finishes as QB1, 2, or 3,
Spaceman.
and people say, oh, yeah, real bold predictions, let's put the number 1 and number 2 quarterbacks on the board. Well, then why are they going 4.1 on 5.1? I don't care how history remembers it, because I know that the real ones will remember it the way the real ones remember it. The Fantasy Football Show out of here. Appreciate you all. Do it live. I leave you with Marvin Harrison Jr.
Hi. What would you like? Footballs, please. Lots of footballs, please. Coming up.
He's Marvin, he's 11 feet tall, and he loves to consume the football. He's Kyler, he's 4 feet tall, but starring Marvin will answer the call. They're Kyler and Marvin.
Brees Hall is 8 foot tall. He will always answer the mother freaking call. Don't let him fall. In the third, don't stall. Just give Batman the freaking football.
He's Brees. He's Brees.
He does a whole of a job. A whole of a job. A whole of a job.
Brees Hall, please report to the moon.
He does a hell of a job.
Live Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern, every single Monday through Friday, live when big news breaks. Appreciate you all. I will see you on the flip side tomorrow. Multiple videos dropping tomorrow. Dynasty show has to be dropped tomorrow. I apologize for... It's just the main channel is going to take priority, and we just had so much going on with the NFL draft, but we will be hitting some Dynasty content here tomorrow. So I'll see you all tomorrow on the Dynasty channel. That link is in the description of the video. The main channel link is in the description of the video, but you can just hit that subscribe button now. And I will see you all later. Appreciate you. Code Smitty, Underdog Fantasy. Do it live.
Get breached.